The science of cell communication allows new ways to understand health and disease. It also has implications for understanding evolution as well as consciousness, with applications for immunity, chronic pain, weight loss, depression, cancer treatment, and virtually every aspect of health and biology. Cellular communication is revolutionizing our understanding not just of disease, but of life itself.
64,000 is the median number of words per book. Average person reads about 200 words per minute. Simple math will tell us that is one book in 320 minutes. To accomplish this in 7 days, numbers say you would have to read for 45 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification button, like, comment, and share. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Book of the Week series. Every week as I read another amazing title, I share it with the world. My name is Igor S.F. Walker, and today we look at the secret language of cells. What biological conversations tell us about the brain-body connection, the future of medicine, and life itself, by Jon Lieff, MD. So how about you slow down and relax? Reduce all that noise for just a bit. Make that choice and decide to listen. In this video, we look at cells, the building block of living things. We discover the surprising science of how all cells, every cells, bacteria and brain cells, blood cells and viruses, all speak the same language. Stick around till the end. I will share with you some tools that I haven't used that will help you tremendously in this game of life. Discover a way to find out what actually motivates you, what innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. I will share some tools to improve self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management. The greatest secret of modern biological science, hiding in plain sight, is that all of life's activity occurs because of conversations among cells. Perhaps most surprising is that all types of cells, from completely different evolutionary lineages, bacteria, archaea, fungus, worms, plants, and human cells, naturally talk with each other using similar signals. This simple fact allows us to see how biology works. This key to modern medical science is hidden because it is impossible for most of us to understand the best current technical journals in neuroscience, genetics, molecular biology, immunology, and microbiology, filled with incomprehensible names of molecules, signals, receptors, and cells. The secret of cellular communication is concealed by jargon. Cells use multiple signals at the same time. All of the following can serve as signaling devices: secret chemicals, launched sacks filled with genetic instructions, electric currents, electromagnetic waves, physical contact by cells, and biological nanotubes between cells. Remarkably, all levels of cells throughout nature, humans, animals, plants, microbes, use the same language with the same vocabulary. Neurons also communicate with brain waves. Groups of neurons vibrate together, sending particular frequencies of electromagnetic oscillations as messages to other brain regions. For messages between two primary member centers, brain memory centers, one frequency provides spatial information, and a different frequency supplies time-related information. The science of cell signaling demonstrates that the immune system and the brain cannot be really separated. Both perceive stress, social isolation, trauma, and infections, and talk together constantly about all of these. Cells talk about every aspect of life, where they should be in an organ, what time of day activity must occur, how big they should grow, how they can fight microbes together, how to rebuild and heal tissue, and how to cooperate to provide necessary functions for our daily activity. Conversations determine types of information, how food is digested, and how chronic pain is dealt with. Almost every aspect of physiology is determined by back and forth signaling among groups of cells. In the midst of billions of cells, a particular cell can rapidly make complex decisions and then send signals that direct the efforts of many other cells to make our bodies work in amazing ways. These cellular conversations allow each cell to function with other cells in tissue throughout the body by knowing their appropriate size, their age, the time of the day, and their own location. Cells use different genetic pathways to alter aging, including modifying how they reproduce. Cells can increase the rate of aging by shortening appendages called telomeres at the ends of DNA molecules. Cancer cells actually do the opposite. They enlarge the appendages to make themselves grow out of proportion. There are two types of cell aging exist, acute and chronic. Acute aging is highly regulated during healing of the wounds and in embryos to eliminate themselves when their jobs are done. Chronic aging occurs with cellular distress over time. It is random and generally considered to be natural cellular aging. Cells need to know where they are in order to make multiple decisions. For example, a white blood cell needs to know its current location when traveling to an infection at another location. Cells near an infection send signals to these traveling immune cells or blood vessels, which then provide the directions for travel. To fulfill their multiple functions, T cells must respond to all cells, but in different ways. T cells have to maintain attraction to all normal human cells to continue communication while not attacking. For example, they must be attracted to neurons just enough to engage in back and forth conversation about illness, but not attracted enough to then go and do damage. Most immune signals that T cells do produce are called cytokines. But they also use neurotransmitters to converse with brain cells. When conversing with T cells, neurons use both types of signals as well. T cells are one of two cells that can self-edit their own strands of DNA to produce totally new types of receptors and signals with entirely new arrangements of DNA code. By editing their own DNA, T cells can produce receptors to respond to newly evolved viruses and microbes, poisons from the environment, and then synthesized chemicals that human bodies have never encountered before. The only other human cell able to edit their own DNA, next to T cells, are B lymphocytes, which use a similar sequence of enzymes to readjust their own DNA in order to produce antibodies. But B cells need T cells to produce the most effective antibodies. It is well known that cells in organs talk with their local neurons and traveling immune cells for many reasons. But it has recently been learned that frequent conversations also involve elaborate long-distance communication between immune cells and brain cells. This occurs via secreted signals in the blood or brain fluid, or by stimulating local neurons to signal to distant brain circuits. Signaling both internally between cell compartments and then with other cells determines the characteristic of individual neurons. An increasing number of neuron types are being found, currently more than 1,000. Neuronal varieties are defined by their active genes, their shapes, their circuitry, their functions, their receptors, and their signals. Once they are produced, most neurons stay as one particular type of a cell for life. However, some can alter their type through a signaling process. This is not as easy as it seems, because signaling is needed on a daily basis to maintain the neuron's identity. Special signals and networks of genes are necessary to continue with their particular neurotransmitters, which are different in a fetus than in an adult. With learning, neural networks change, sometimes in response to signals from the environment. Now, these signals can alter a neuron's identity, trigger new type. Signals from the environment can trigger new genetic networks that alter neurons' functions. Neurons are masters of information transfer. Astrocytes provide nourishment, regulate blood flow, and perform synapse maintenance. Microglia travel through a defined brain territory, observing, stimulating, inhibiting, cleaning up, fighting microbes, and maintaining all brain cells, while constantly communicating about brain activity. As T cells are masters of the entire immune system, microglia are master regulators of all brain cells, including all immune responses in the brain. Microglia help determine how many brain cells of each type are needed in their various territories, and then signal to stem cells to produce more or fewer in a fetus. Microglia helps establish neural networks. Now, CRISPR, which stands for clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindromic repeats in the DNA code, CRISPR-Cas9, as an accurate gene editing tool. There are currently more than 30 varied CRISPR-Cas-like systems identified in bacteria. So there is variation in how they work. Some cut DNA from viruses that actually have DNA. Others attack RNA viruses by first using reverse transcription and changing the viral RNA into DNA. The enzymes for this step is stored with the CRISPR-Cas system in bacterial genes. So COVID-19 has great capabilities with 15 genes that produce at least 29 proteins. One very large protein is 16 different ones that are cut and released by other proteins. Several of these proteins produce a bubble field with fluid where the virus builds a factory to produce more viruses. Inside this bubble, 2 proteins produce new RNA, and then another RNA brings material to build more RNA. So medicine for SARS can actually attack this step. 3 other proteins unwind the RNA to make it useful, to correct errors, and then to cut up leftover RNA to keep the host cell from reacting to it. Cells have organelles, mitochondria, nucleus, protein factories, membrane factories, and multiple large vesicles with diverse roles to play. When microbes invade a cell, physical and chemical barriers keep them near a particular organelles as the cell tries to kill them. Proteins are essential to the human body, providing cellular structure, function, and regulation. A variety of organelles interact to regulate protein manufacturing and to maintain protein quality. Much like microbes, mitochondria have an elaborate, independent lifestyle inside human cells with decision-making and extensive travel capability. Mitochondrial activity mostly involves changing shapes for different energy purposes and then traveling to sites where energy is needed. When investigating the origin of life, scientists have looked for inorganic matter that could have spontaneously assembled into a spherical membrane, thereby jump-starting cell development. However, recent research shows that molecules that make up cellular membranes are in fact not spontaneous and not simple. Membranes are built out of multiple types of molecules for precise shapes and for precise purposes. These molecules are produced and then transported with destination tags to specific locations, and this involves multiple signals between several organelles. No one suspected until now that events in one organ could be based on wide-ranging conversations with tissue cells, blood vessel cells, neurons, microbes, immune cells, and even cells in distant organs. Signals amongst neurons are considered the gold standard for understanding brain function. We are learning from new research that neurons cannot function without elaborate signaling among the glia cells, blood vessel cells, immune cells, and lining cells. Also, neurons commonly use multiple simultaneous types of communication, such as neurotransmitters, immune signals, electrical synapses, brain waves, and sacs filled with information molecules. As medical science becomes increasingly complex, most people find it more challenging than ever to comprehend what does maintain health and what causes disease. As matter and energy interact on all scales of the universe, could information transfer be another fundamental aspect of physical nature? Are particular types of information transfer the very definition of life? And there you have it, the secret language of cells. Please do help out. It is easy. Simply like this video so more people can enjoy it. Like it, like it, like it. If you have enjoyed, liked it, share it too. Spread the word. Share it. Share this on your social media. Leave a comment and share your thoughts. Let's talk about this secret language of cells. How cool is that? Let's start a conversation. Subscribe to my channel and stay up to date. You know how to do this. The link to this book is in the description below. So you buy it and you read and you never stop learning, especially learning about yourself and nature. So gift yourself by taking the free human needs test on my website and find out what actually motivates you. What innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. And if you feel you are ready to improve your self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management even further, do check out my Master of Life Awareness program. The links are in the description below. Thank you. Love and respect.